Hey everybody, I want to give a big hello whether you're watching on the Brave and the Boys channel or whether you're watching on the Organic Price Books channel. Today we are very excited to do an overview for the reprint of Absolute Court of Owls. So first we're going to give you a little introduction and context to the storyline, explore a couple different ways to collect it and what makes the Absolute so special, and then we're going to dive into our 3 favorite parts of the story. Before we get started though, I want to give a huge thank you to Organic Price Books for allowing us to be a guest on their channel, and I want to remind you, if you want to buy this book, you can save $2 with the code Braveboys, or if you're buying 4 or more books, you can save 5% with the code Braveboyssit. Let's dive in. And remember, the Court of Owls is always watching. So before we dive into the different formats, let's give you guys a little bit of history and context to the storyline. So in 2011, DC decided to do a line-wide complete reboot of their continuity known as the New 52. Now, for a lot of characters like Superman, it was a completely new storyline, new character, but because Batman was already so popular, they just said all of that history post-crisis of Batman happened. It just happened in a really short period of time, and he was way younger. I mean, the math still doesn't really check out how he had like 5 Robins in 5 years or something like that, you know? But you know, it's comics, you go with the punches. And they used the powerhouse team of Scott Snyder, who had previously wrote Batman Black Mirror, another absolute you should check out. And this time they brought on the artist Greg Capullo, famous for Spawn and many other books. His art really just super complements Scott Snyder's storytelling. And this is just like such a refreshing book to read. It's gonna be a Batman that is kind of in the middle of his career, so he is younger, but he does have all of his previous Robins, and he thinks he knows Gotham City. And this book really showcases that even if you think you know Gotham City, do you really? It introduces a new set of villains known as the Court of Owls, and it is super good. You have to read it. It's on most people's list of the top 10 Batman stories of all time, and you gotta own it in any format. Now let's look at the different formats and see what the pros and cons are. So first off, we have the trade paperback. Now this has been released in a lot of different formats. There's a standard size hardcover, there's a box set of all of the Scott Snyder run, there's even a cool box set that comes with the Court of Owls mask that, yes, I'm probably gonna wear for this video. Then it was released oversized in this amazing Absolute Edition. The Absolute Edition is gonna have the most oversized art, it's gonna have a gorgeous ribbon, a ton of extras, and a just absolute knocked it out of the park slipcase. The Absolute's gonna collect the first 2 trade paperbacks, which you see here, but the Omni is also gonna have some further stories, such as Death of the Family, where the Joker returns, and it's gonna collect the prequel Batman 0 Year, which is an also excellent story. So any way you go, you can't go wrong, but if you want to see the Greg Capullo art as grandiose as it deserves and you want the most premium format, get the Absolute. Now let's dive into the artwork and I'll show you my 3 favorite parts of the book. Okay guys, let's take a look at this gorgeous book. So on the front, you're going to see this amazing like Batman Owl hybrid done by Greg Capullo. On the side, you get that gorgeous Absolute Batman, the Court of Owls, with the Court of Owls mask. And this is the old DC logo, so the reprint's gonna have the new logo. On the back, you have the Court of Owls, you have the Talon, and it says their famous little poem, "Beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time." And again on this side, Court of Owls, Greg Capullo, and the old DC logo. So let's take it out of that slipcase. Here you get this cool like robot Batman suit in Wayne Manor, and he's looking over at a bunch of Talons. And then you have the Talons having Batman in their sight. So we're not gonna just, you know, flip through the whole book because I want you to be able to enjoy the book. We're gonna flip through 3 key moments. Let's open it up first. That Greg Capullo art is just amazing. So it was by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. The inker was Jonathan Glapion. And we're gonna skip ahead. So to give you a little bit of context on this scene, you have Bruce Wayne arriving to meet Lincoln March, the next mayor of Gotham, at a penthouse up top of a massive old Gotham building. And what I really love is that Lincoln March almost is like a mirror image of Bruce Wayne, in the same way that the Talon is a weird mirrored view of Batman, and you get to see their little meeting. But what makes this really cool is they get attacked by this cool assassin known as a Talon. So they're like, imagine if Batman was an owl, but not like Owlman. So what's really cool is it's not a Talon fighting Batman, it's a Talon fighting Bruce Wayne. So you get to see his thoughts as he's fighting. Don't recognize him. Someone new, someone fast. And then he said, go for strikes that look like lucky blows. Because if Bruce Wayne started doing all this crazy kung fu karate, it would reveal his secret identity. So he has to be smart, act like he got lucky, let himself get stabbed a few times, hit a few times, because it's Bruce Wayne, just some random billionaire fighting. And it's really cool. And eventually they go tumbling out of a building and you get to see his monologue. And what makes it so special is the way that he survives. It's because he survives not by his superior fighting, not by any of that. He survives because of how well he knows Gotham City. He knows about this 13th guardian of the building, and that is how he survives. So in this storyline, I think a really important thing is Batman is arrogant. He doesn't think the Court of Owls could ever exist, because if they did, he would have known. He knows everything, every nook and cranny of Gotham. He knows it like the back of his hand. So his arrogance blinds him, and I think that's really important. So now we're going to skip ahead to the next part that we have bookmarked. So now is what I call the Labyrinth section. You have Batman down below in the undergrounds of the city in old Gotham, and he finds the lair of the owls, and he's spent days crawling through this labyrinth. He's hungry, he's parched, he's dying of dehydration, and he sees this fountain that he thinks is an oasis, and he sips from the fountain just a little bit, because the water could be poisoned, but that's how desperate he is. And what I love about this is they do some crazy stuff, and I'm going to give you a warning. If you haven't read this story, skip this part because this is a spoiler. But I want to show you how Greg Capullo's ingenious art and Scott Snyder's direction and writing make you feel the effects of the poison chemical water in the same way that Batman does. So you see him look through and see all the old members of the Court of Owls, of all the previous Talons, and he's getting drugged. He's starting to go crazy, like feels like he's being followed by the Talons. He feels like he's being lost, and the effects of the poison water are kicking in. And then the pictures turn sideways, and you have to physically move the comic sideways. And I want to show you what makes the Absolute better than the trade paperback. Look at that. Look at how more oversized the Absolute is, and how it really just shows off how creative this portion is, by how great the art is. You really start to feel Batman's descent into madness. Flipping through, you're still reading at a weird perspective. He's losing it, and now it's upside down, and you have to physically read the book upside down, and it is just ingenious. I've never seen a comic book do this before, but you get to see Batman's descent into madness, and you get to feel it yourself. And it is just awesome. The Court of Owls are excellent villains. And now we're going to jump ahead to one last part that I think just you have to get in the oversized format. So now we're going to go into one of the big climactic moments of the book, where the Court of Owls send their legion of Talons to attack. And you get to see how Bruce reacts to it all. So let's skip ahead a little bit, and here we go. Here we have their attack on Wayne Manor, because the Court of Owls know everything. They know who Batman is, so they attack him when they think he's vulnerable. And you get it now. This isn't a Bruce Wayne that has to hold back like his first fight. This is a Batman who's been through the ringer, who's been poisoned. His allies have been tried to turn against him, and this is a Batman that is just going all out. And you get to see him just slowly but surely take out a bunch of Talons. And it's just it reminds me of the Watchmen scene where he said, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me. And you get to see a ruthless Bruce Wayne, and the action is amazing. It's oversized, and it is truly wonderful. I don't want to show any more of the book. Let's jump now into the extras, and then we'll do the conclusion. Okay, so now let's look at the extras. So absolutes are going to give you the most extras, more than a trade paperback, which probably give you none, and more than an omnibus, which gives you kind of the bare minimum. So it's going to start with the variant cover gallery, and some of these covers are amazing. I remember just like being young and just starting to collect comics, but I didn't really go all in. I collected a couple of the first early issues. So it's just really cool to see all these, and I'm going to skip ahead. Some of these covers might be spoilers, so warning. Now you're going to get some character sketches. Get that cool Batman mech suit. And now you're going to get some little inside script portions. And I just love how Scott Snyder writes. He does a lot of cool little writing classes on comics, like online, and I think he's an excellent writer. And this was my first introduction to his writing, and I'm all about it. Like, I would read tons of comics just as scripts with little bits of art. Skip ahead. Looks like they give you almost a full script to the first issue. Oh, I love this. I love seeing Batman with his Robins, with his sons. Ahead. This art, these pencils are amazing. Greg Capullo just went off on this book. Like, such a perfect fit for Batman. And that's going to bring us to an end. Let's jump into the conclusion. And guys, that's going to bring this video to a close. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, whether you watched on the OPB channel or the Brave and the Boys channel. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to us. If you love this video, maybe give it a like, smash that like button, comment down below what your favorite Batman story is, ring that bell for notifications, and if you want to pick up this storyline or any other comic, you can use the code Braveboys to save $2, or if you're buying 4 or more books, you can use the code Braveboyssit to save 5%. Now keep reading and stay brave.